This is a gamble, an act of defiance, and a form of therapy. Now, I want this to be raw, unedited, one take, no music, no flashy graphics, just me, you, and the words I've written. So, what's this all about then? Well, as of this recording, mid November 2025, it's safe to say that the world is in an interesting place. Like me, you probably noticed this a while ago, but felt powerless to do anything about it, especially as the situation has worsened. Our climate crisis is in full swing, we've got wars going on around the globe, and we are staring down the barrel of a massive worldwide economic crash, driven in part by AI hype. Corporations and politicians are fully unmasked, hungry for money and power, whilst words like accountability, morality, and merit seem like remnants of a long forgotten language. Facing all of that, people are naturally checking out. When they aren't doom scrolling for a quick dopamine hit, they're being shuffled into neat little boxes by their algorithmic overlords, warring camps that foster division and rejuvenate many classic matchups, like rich versus poor, left versus right, men versus women, and black versus white, among many, many others. People aren't talking, they're just fighting. And if that wasn't bad enough, most of us are living in a perpetual state of fear, driven by less than knowledgeable media and parroted by those without a clue who are looking for fame and a quick buck as the ship goes down. Because, look, it turns out negativity sells. It's in our nature to pay more attention to the things that can harm us, our protective reflex that is being weaponized for cash. Well, enough's enough. Okay, but what's the solution? How do you even begin to talk about or tackle all of these seemingly impossible problems? This brings me to my main point. I've spent years both working in and researching the health, technology, psychology, and environmental sectors. I've spoken with key decision makers, industry leaders, founders, innovators, people on the front lines, and the seasoned veterans who have earned their salt. The consensus is that, sure, we're in a bad place, and there's a lot of work to do. But whilst hope remains, all is not lost. So I figure the time is right to return to being part of the pushback against the doom and gloom narrative, to highlight the opportunities we have to make the world a better place, to platform the innovators and change makers toiling away for our collective benefit. After a brief detour, it's time to restart a modern remedy. You can call it a return to solution-focused media. See, I've spent the last 18 months on an excursion, helping others grow their do-good brands, focused on their impact at the expense of my own. Being immersed in a bunch of new, wide-reaching global communities was a unique experience, but along the way, I noticed something that slowly began to eat away at me until I couldn't ignore it anymore. And I don't know how else to say it, other than there are a lot of charlatans out there. People who don't know what they're actually talking about, yet pass themselves off as experts. The rise of AI has only accelerated that, allowing anyone to share surface-level insights powered by simulated intelligence. And there's no substance there. There's just a grift, a hustle, brand building at the expense of true positive impact. These people sell snake oil, not real solutions. Noise that is drowning out the true signal. They have outsourced their cognition, and it shows. Some of them might genuinely mean well, but they're not helping themselves or any of us, through the shortcuts that they've decided to take. Look, if I don't have the time to do the thing, be it research, writing, or otherwise, then I just don't have the time. And when I get the time, then I do the thing. I'd rather not sacrifice my integrity for hacks to boost my productivity. Cake takes time to bake. Turning up the heat only serves to burn the crust. I'm not here to serve you crap. There's plenty of places you can get that online already. My promise to you is to never go down that route. I proudly employ organic intelligence in all that I do. Use it or lose it. Work for it. Push yourself. Grow. Be better than yesterday. All that cliched shit is actually true. There is value in the struggle. Find the time to get better. Stop taking shortcuts. For example, the script I'm reading from right now was written by me, not AI. No, I did not prompt AI for brainstorming ideas, and let's be real, we all know that's not what you're actually doing there. Nor did I farm this out to a freelancer on the cheap. This production involved just me, my computer, and a bunch of ideas that I banged out on the keyboard until they took shape. Now, there may have been some purple tea involved as well, but if this ends up being crap, I'll learn from it. Likewise, if it's received well, I'll look to learn from that too. Moving forward, my energy will be concentrated on trying to make a positive impact through a modern remedy and a select group of change makers that I'm working with outside of AMR. That means creating and publishing media that is solution focused. I want this work to change the narrative and to help create places where people can get some relief from the chaos of the world, a force for good. No, this is not hopeless optimism. This is not fluff. We're going to be tackling some heavy duty things here, but doing so in a way that actually promotes intelligent discourse, a way that seeks solutions and empowers you, the reader, the listener, the viewer, to make positive changes and regain control over your well-being. Expect more videos, written pieces, podcasts, and output I haven't even really thought of yet. Real conversations, real ideas, and real hope. I said at the outset that this was a gamble, and it is. Positive content doesn't perform as well as negatively weighted content. That we know beyond a doubt, which means it will be on you, dear audience, to help keep this thing going. I'll need your support. And the best way you can do that is to do all the stuff you hear in every other video and podcast. Like, follow, subscribe, rate, review, share, all that jazz. I'm going to show up for you, and I hope that you're going to show up for me. Win-win, give and give. Because your input really will help us reach a bigger audience. And as AI slop proliferates our platforms, your endorsement means more now than ever. This is how we cut through the noise. And at the same time, this is an act of defiance. We are going in the face of what the algorithms promote. This won't be a quick dopamine hit. It's not for everyone. It's for you, the person who is after real change, who's sick and tired of feeling like the world is crumbling, who's tired of the politics, the polarization, and feeling like shit every time you look at a screen. And this is also a form of therapy, for me at least. When I started AMR, I set out to make the sort of content that, well, I'd like to consume. I love to write, I love to create, and I love to read thoughtful and thought-provoking articles. I thought, I enjoy discussing important topics with people who know their stuff, and I miss all of that. And I feel like a sense of hope and optimism is needed every day. So that's what this will be. And if all goes well, it might be therapeutic for you too. Now, you may have noticed that I didn't provide any dates or schedules or upload frequencies. I'm purposefully leaving this vague and open-ended so as not to box myself in or overcommit to anything. I've gone through burnout before, and I've learned my lesson there. This also makes it somewhat of a time capsule, something I can revisit later on, to see how things went. It's timeless in a way. And I'm genuinely excited at the potential, the many possible directions, and the impact we can make here. So with all of that said, thank you for your time. I really do appreciate you checking this out, and I hope you'll join me on this journey. And I'll see you soon.